The following program was recorded at the annual Barcoding and RFID conference in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm pleased to welcome SupplyChainBrain Editor-in-Chief, Russell Goodman.
Navigating new technology implementations. Here to talk with us about that today is Jay Steinmetz, CEO of Barcoding Incorporated. Jay, welcome.
Thank you, Russell. It's good to be here.
Jay, for any viewers who are not entirely familiar with everything that Barcoding Incorporated is involved in and all of the technologies that you offer, walk us through that.
Well, our company is a large-scale integrator with offices across the country. We're supplying inside the four walls supply chain application systems, warehouse management implementation, as well as outside the four walls, warehousing, proof of delivery, field service, and the full value life cycle as it implements these large-scale implementations, including telematics, route optimization, and so on. We do a lot of RFID and a lot of barcoding and a lot of ancillary technologies that revolve around automatic identification systems.
Jay, I have every reason to believe that you've got a lot of experience watching clients make very large mistakes in some of their big technology change implementations. What are some of those mistakes?
Well, we've seen a lot of implementations over our 14 years, and some have gone better than others. A lot of times, it's situations where you don't have top-level commitment, where you don't have buy-in, or you have competing resources. It seems to be one of the biggest problems, where you say, hey, these guys really don't want to see these people succeed because it's not my department. Unfortunately, you can't even stop that with good project management sometimes.
Before a company makes a technology change, then clearly there's got to be some type of prep work that's involved. What are the strategies that they should be following?
So obviously you want to implement a full life cycle system. You want to prep by making sure that the people who are going to be using the system have some sort of buy-in to the system. You want to make sure that the technology isn't just being implemented for technology's sake. You want to make sure that this stuff is being used to literally change the process flow, because a lot of times people just implement these systems they're automating existing processes instead of really understanding the core of why these systems are being implemented to begin with. So we've implemented many systems that allow us to track from the very beginning throughout the whole life cycle of the device. So we can track the utilization, track the deployments, track the support, track the repair history, as well as just the physical asset itself.
It's one thing to say that they need to think these things through, there needs to be buy-in at a certain level, etc. But are there any key components or key resources that they also need to have on hand before any type of large-scale change is made?
Well, project management is critical. A system deployment that isn't staged, isn't configured, doesn't have proper device management. We do a lot of mobility. So in mobility, we want to make sure that we're managing the devices throughout their whole process. So we can look into the devices, see who's using them effectively, who's not, who's entering the information incorrectly. And you want to create an automation factor, which means you want to prevent the ability for the customer to make the mistakes to begin with.
Let's talk about that automation for just a moment. What sort of benefits and what sort of disadvantages can someone expect when making the kind of changes that we've been talking about here?
Well, the benefits are that now you're empowering a user to make decisions at the point of their doing the work, which means you're not just allowing them to make the decision, you're empowering them with the right information. So that's a key to mobility as it exists. I scan something, at the moment I'm picking it, and if it needs me to redirect it or if it needs me to do an inventory count, at that moment it can tell me that based upon the information I'm collecting. If I need to check or take a picture of it because it's damaged. So those are the advantages. The disadvantages, sometimes the companies don't understand what they're getting involved in, and if they don't properly implement the system, it can collapse on itself. You start losing equipment, you can start losing assets, and all of a sudden you're in a situation, maybe your customer in this case sometimes is the user. They aren't bought into it, so maybe they don't want to see it succeed. Some people look at it as a confrontational situation. You're taking my job away. Because we are creating efficiencies to an exponential level, and a lot of people look at that as a threat to their own employment.
Going forward, technology trends that you see in this area.
So what we're seeing right now is convergence. Convergence like we've never seen before. We're doing a lot of RFID and a lot of barcoding. So what we've built, our technology includes RFID readers with built-in knowledge capability. They have built-in databases in them. They have built-in GPS. They have built-in GPRS, so I can magnetically attach it to a truck and know the moment an asset is deployed because it deattaches from the RFID, pulls down the GPS coordinates, and GPRS is the information back to its source. We're finding new avenues for new opportunities in businesses that never thought they would utilize automatic identification technology. So there's all sorts of other technology implementations. So we're doing ocular identification. We're doing, obviously, image capture. We can read the barcodes off the roof to determine where you're located if you're inside the four walls. Pretty advanced technology that's being implemented with Wi-Fi, that's being implemented with barcode scanning, that's being implemented with RFID. So again, you're coming across with convergence. Some of it's mobile, some of it's not mobile. We're dealing with a lot of Bluetooth, a lot of the use of mobility and voice now, or QoS capability. So I'm on a forklift, I'm going 5 miles an hour, I can talk on the device that I'm scanning with. It can also talk to me and tell me information to pick and pull. If I'm in a retail environment, I can go into a dressing room, it scans. It scans the garments. I go inside the dressing room. It can tell me what I was looking at and what are the other items that are available. Via screen, it could have somebody explain to me why I would want this other item, and I'd be able to select right on the screen. It's for somebody to go ahead and grab that item and bring it to me.
Should be some exciting times going forward. Jay, thank you so much for meeting with us today.
Thank you, Russell.
That's Jay Steinmetz, Barcoding Incorporated, speaking with us today about navigating new technology implementations. Thank you for watching.